guys, it's Deb. Thanks so much for joining me this evening. I wanted to talk to you about a book that I have absolutely been loving, and then the oracle cards that pair with the book, thanks to Kelly over to Truth and Story. If you at all have been on YouTube and following YouTubers who do incredible walkthroughs, Kelly over to Truth and Story, top notch for going through deep dive walkthroughs. And I love that she does this in her own unique way. And she actually has a class coming up that's been inspired by this book. And I'm so incredibly excited to take it, but I'm getting ahead of myself. So let me just kind of back up and talk to you for just a minute. So the book is called Corrag. And it's the other title for the book is called The Highland Witch, and it's by Suzanne Fletcher. I absolutely love the cover on this book. It's just beautiful. The coloring is beautiful. But I also love this library version that I picked up used, and I love the duckled edges on this, and it's a really pretty book too, and I like it for the way that this dust jacket looks. And yeah, so let me tell you just a little bit about the book. I'll read what's inside of the dust jacket here. In 1692, brilliant, captivating corrag, accused witch, orphaned herbalist, and unforgettable heroine, is imprisoned for her supposed involvement in a massacre that she had no part of. 38 members of the MacDonald clan are killed by soldiers who had previously enjoyed the clan's hospitality. Many more died from exposure. Suspected of witchcraft and murder, Corrag awaits her death. Lonesome, she tells her story to Charles Leslie, an Irish protagonist who seeks information to condemn the Protestant King William, rumored to be involved in the massacre. Hers is a story of passion, courage, love, and the magic of the natural world. By telling it, she transforms both of their lives. And this is supposedly based on some true facts. I'm going to do my own kind of research on this, but literally just reading this gives me chills. I read the book. I listened to the book audio. If you have Audible, you can download it for free if you have an Audible membership. And the narration in the book are absolutely beautiful. So Kelly over at Truth and Story is the reason that I picked this book up in the first place, and is the reason that I'll be taking her class that I'm so excited to take. So Kelly at Truth and Story also, if you followed her or know anything about her, she also does some of her own decks. And she did an oracle deck that pairs along with the book. She took terms and images that she pulled out of the book that felt important to her, and she came up with images for her own oracle deck. I know this is going to be really super small and hard for you to see, but I purchased the images so that I could get my own deck made on Make Playing Cards, and that's what I'm going to show you. But the different types of components that are included in this, let me pull them up here so I can read them. You have your core cards, you have an ancestor expansion, an element, plant expansion, and an animal characteristics expansion. So there, in addition to the core deck, there are also the expansion cards. And the good thing about Make Playing Cards is that you can pick and choose the cards that you want to use. So I purchased the images from Kelly's website, which I'll link it down below here. And then you're able to pick the images that you want to make your own deck and make it important to you. So I didn't pick all of them. I used I purchased the entire core deck, and then I purchased some of the elements, some of the ancestor, and some of the animals, the ones that resonated with me. I've never had a deck of cards that were made on Make Playing Cards, and the process was super easy. She gave you really simple instructions in the PDF download for the images, and I was able to get on there and upload the images and drag and drop easily and come up with my own deck of cards. And I chose to get these in, I'm trying to remember what it's called, maybe a bridge card size. So for comparison, here's my Barbara Walker Tarot in a 10, and I'll show you the card size comparatively. So yeah, maybe that way is easier to see. So there it is comparatively. They're a tiny bit shorter, maybe a itty bitty bit wider than the Barbara Walker Tarot in a 10. The cards, I purchased the finish on the cards. I think they're called plastic or plasticky or something like that. I was unsure if I would like them, but this is a deck that sorry, I've been sick. Trying to get over some sort of creeping crud that I've had. Anyway, this is a deck that I'm going to have in my bag, and I'm going to take it on the go with me at work. And my most kind of calm, quiet time is when I get to work first thing in the morning. That's my time to kind of clear my mind, get myself together before I start into work for the day. And this deck has been going with me, and I really enjoyed it. I got them just in a plain Make Playing Cards box, but the thing that I keep them in is this Galen leather zip pouch, and the cards fit in here perfectly, and it protects them. It's super slim, and it fits really well down inside of my bag for on the go. Come on, we're not focusing. There we go. And this pouch it's really reasonable. You can get it on several different websites, like Glay Pens, I think Gold Spot Pens, Galen Leather is actually a Turkish company, and they have a website, and you can get it from there also. But this pouch is 100% perfect for these cards. Love it. So they travel in the pouch. It's also kind of fuzzy or lined on the inside a little bit too, so it really protects them. Anyway, but what I was trying to say with all of that is I think that these cards would stand up to the rigors of being in a bag every day and being carried around. So anyway, kind of back to the story and the connection. Kelly went through the book, and there's corrag is the main character. She's the witch, or accused of being a witch, and it really goes through her story as a child, and then with her mother, and then her mother, who she watches get put to death for being accused of being a witch. The story is just incredibly moving and touching, and you wouldn't think by just listening to the Dust Jacket that it might be something that you would want to pick up. Trust me, you want to pick it up. Really, really enjoyed it. And I really enjoyed the audiobook too. Anyway, I digress. So Kelly went through and picked out different images and thoughts in the book and kind of put them into the core deck of cards, like Black Elder, that talks about Black Elder, and you hear Corrag tell something that has to do with Black Elder, and that was one of the cards that was in the expansion pack. So it's just chock full of symbolism from the book. And I thought I would just go ahead and go through the cards with you so that you could see the deck, and maybe I would motivate someone else to read and enjoy the book, and then to grab your own copy of the PDF for Make Playing Cards. Get the PDF from Kelly, and then she gives you instructions so that you can print and make your own stickers to put onto cards, which I tried that. I didn't like the way that it turned out, so that's why I went ahead and took the leap and did the Make Playing Cards, and I'm not sorry that I did at all. Anyway, so there were a couple of different options for the back of the cards, and these are what the backs look like. Really pretty, kind of earthy. And I almost thought about using this card as the card backs. And I kind of wish I would have now, but I was afraid, I've never made cards through playing cards, and I was afraid I would mess it up. But anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and go through the cards here with you. Let me bring in a little bit closer here. So I don't really have these in any particular order. I'm just going to go through these so that you can see the imagery. So here's Corrag, Guardian, Water, Second Sight, Island, Heart Voice, Death, Cauldron of Warming. I really like that one. The Other World, Legacy, Meadow, Words, Mouse, Darkness, Buried, Air, Childhood, Earth, Lake, Fire, Fox, Cauldron of Wisdom, Animals, Sword, Horse. And I love how she, horse, the keyword that she picked for this is partner. And I love the keywords that she selected for these. They really pick up to me the essence of what the book is putting out. Village, Deer, Vulnerable. I love that. Weatherborn. This was a term I had not heard. So weatherborn, I'm trying to think of how to describe it. It has to do with the season or the birth month that you were born, and kind of what you lean into as far as kind of earthy elements, etc. And that weatherborn, I loved reading that in the book. And again, as I do my own research, that's something that I'm going to go back and hit again. Old age. The other thing that I thought about is I may go back into Make Playing Cards and upload some of my own images. So old age, I thought about taking a picture of, this is going to sound kind of corny, but this is where I am in life, right? I'm in my 50s and just had a birthday actually. And I thought about putting a baby picture and then a picture of myself on here. I know, sounds kind of corny, but I may do something like that. And there's a few other ones in here, my grandparents, I may go back and put a picture of them in here. Anyway, just to make the deck more personal. Mountain range, unnamed ancestors, past lives, grandfather. So this is the other one that I was talking about. I have obviously I have a grandfather, and I thought about putting some images of my own grandfather there and ordering those. Rabbit, watcher, bog, frog, adaptable, barred window. And when you read this book, Corrag tells her story from her jail cell. And when you look at this card and then you're reading the book, it really, you can picture the situation with her setting in that jail cell. Monster, birth, morning star, plants. There's a lot of conversation about herbs and plants in the book, and Kelly's done a great job of pulling them out and putting them into the cards. Whale, voice, cauldron of motion, River, Shackled. This is another one that when I look at this and think about the book, it literally gives me chills. Owl, the Hunter, My Place, Spider as a Weaver, Stag as Noble, Adulthood, Grandmother, Dog, Loyal, and Mask. So these are the cards. They're beautifully depictive of the images that kind of pop into mind when you're reading through the book. And I think Kelly did a great job of putting this deck in the expansion packs together. And I absolutely love the size of the deck. And here's how it shuffles. It's beautiful. If you're a riffle shuffler, you will absolutely love the finish on these cards. And they're just, it's beautiful. I find myself kind of when I'm sitting on a Zoom call or a meeting and I don't have to have my volume on and I've been nervous and fidgety, I pull these out and shuffle. And just the feel of them in my hand and kind of that repetitive motion of that riffle shuffle kind of brings me back to a place that calms me down a little bit. But yeah, I really, really love the deck. My intent is I'm going to cut these apart. For my planner, I've been using the last couple of years a Hobonichi Weeks, and I'm getting my 2023 Hobonichi Weeks ready for the new year. Let me back up just a little bit here. And I had these in my old Hobo Weeks, and I'm going to put them back in to this one, but I updated my moon phase calendar, and tarot is very new for me. Tarot is another thing that I've really, really enjoyed over the past year, but sometimes I don't pick them up for a little while, and it's hard for me to remember the meanings of the cards, so I printed these myself. I took Lisa Pepez's boot camp class, and she walks you through how to think about key words for each of the cards, and I followed along with that class and wrote down the words that resonated for me for the major arcana, and I sized this down, and this will go in my Hobo Weeks. The other ones that I did, I haven't got them in yet, obviously, but for my Suit of Cups, and then Suit of Pentacles, and then Wands and Swords. So those will get stuck down in here. And I decided to do them like this. That way I knew I could reprint them easily every year as I needed to. And I'm glad that I did it that way. These were free off of Boho Tarot's website. This is your inner voice spread that she suggested, and an inner and outer self spread. So I snagged these off of her free site and resized them and plopped them in here just to have some spreads kind of at a glance if I needed them. And then I also have dabbled in Lenormand. So I wrote down the meanings that resonated for me for the Lenormand charms, and I have that in here too. So my intent is I'm going to cut these down, and I'll also have these in here so that I'll have these at a glance as I'm reading through or kind of reflecting on the cards. If I need to have a reference, then I have that at hand. It's very intuitive, and if you've read the book, even if you haven't read the book, the entire deck I think is very intuitive, and you don't really need the keywords, but I just think it's really nice to have. So I'm going to resize those and then go ahead and stick them down in my Hobo Weeks as well. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed taking a look at this deck. I will link Kelly's website down below. and her YouTube channel. I absolutely love this, love the deck of cards, loved the book, and I hope you guys got some inspiration from this, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.